to the first anniversary episode of the Community Lens. I cannot believe it's been a whole year. Thank you for tuning in and listening. And if you've been on, thank you for being on, and I hope you come on again. And happy Thanksgiving. Thursday is a time to spend with your friends and family. And don't forget that there are opportunities to serve your community. The Open Door Project, who was on our last episode, will be serving at the Northford Congregational Church, and they are looking for donations of food and people to come help serve and take part in the community. And if you do not have plans for Thanksgiving, please stop in and join them. And I'm going to pass it over to my guest, Mr. Hank Petroskey. He's going to talk to us about a couple of other things going on in town.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Kara, for having me back again. I'm going to talk about two subjects tonight. I'm involved with both the North Branford Land Conservation Trust and the town's recycling committee. So just give you some updates, what's going on and how you can help. So just to remind folks, the mission of the North Branford Land Conservation Trust is to acquire and maintain open space to promote conservation within the town of North Branford. So that's basically what we do. There's a lot under there, but that's basically what we do. So some recent projects that we've been working on. We had a ribbon cutting ceremony for our Starry Lane property. It connects that water library with the Harrison Farm Preserve on North Street. So if you start at the library, right in the parking lot, go up the hill on the yellow trail, you can cross Starry Lane onto Harrison Farm Preserve and then right onto Regional Water Authority property. The trail goes there, it does a loop, and you walk back. It's probably, depending on your pace, about 40 minutes round trip. So
it's a great hike.
It's pretty easy. The hard part is getting up the hill from the library, but there's some nice stone steps that some volunteers from around the state helped us put in. So, and then some nice railings some other land trust volunteers made to make the trip up and down the hill safer. Also, at that same ribbon cutting, we also had a celebration for the president of the Land Trust, Dave Sargent, who was recently named the Katchen Colley Award winner from the Connecticut Land Conservation Council for excellence in land conservation. And then Dave was also recently Shoreline Times Person of the Week. So Dave's got a lot to be proud of, and so do we. Him leading our organization, we're very fortunate. As far as projects we've done in partnerships with some local organizations, this is probably the third or fourth time over the last few years we've worked with workers from Honeywell on our Village Street property to build wooden boardwalks to lay down in some of the more wet areas during certain times of the year. So if you're out on our Village Street property, as you're walking on those boardwalks, you can thank the workers from Honeywell, the Land Trust, and also we had an Eagle Scout candidate a few years ago that built some of those boardwalks also. With our recent acquisition of Beach and Palms Lane properties, we've worked with some workers from Tilcon to help to start clearing some trails there. So if you decide to head over to the Beach Street property, it's right where Beach and Palms Lane intersect. Beach Street, there's an entrance there, and you can walk to several trails that were built there. So again, thanks to the Tilcon workers for helping with that.
May I just ask really quick?
Yep.
So the Beach Street Palms Lane property does not connect to the Starry Lane Harrison?
Correct.
Okay.
Our hope is in the future is probably about a mile from where our Starry Lane property ends on RWA property over to Beach Street.
Okay.
So our plan is, if the Regional Water Authority is open to it, to actually build a trail to connect all those properties. So it would
Okay.
be a nice long hike for folks if they opted to do that. And then in October, we hosted about 30 students from Choate, and they helped us work on invasive plant control at our Beach Street demonstration forest property. And also with clearing the invasives, they made room around younger trees to help them grow. So the forest, it was an old growth forest, which means the trees were old. Several years ago, the RWA cleared a number of those trees, and with the hope of new trees growing, but invasive plants took over. So
Yeah.
we need to get rid of those, allow the forest to get back to its natural state. So hopefully that's going to be, and this is about the 4th or 5th year we've, students from Choate have helped us out for their day of service or whatever they call it. Most of our activity is going on the beach and Pomps Lane properties because that's our newest acquisition. There's a lot to do on those 37 acres there. So one of our volunteers is a member of the Connecticut Timber Association or whatever that is, where they actually build stuff out of wood that they harvest and treat themselves. They're not buying it from Home Depot and stuff. They're actually take the trees and mill them and stuff. So he has designed and built the components for a timber frame shelter, which will be at the Beach Street property right adjacent to the parking lot. And as soon as our ADA compliant parking lot's completed, we will have a big celebration down there and actually build this shelter. There's pieces, it's like when you get something from IKEA, part A and part B and it all goes in and there's no nails or anything. The pieces hold themselves together. So I'm very interested to see that in place. And mentioned about the ADA compliant parking lot at our Beach Street demonstration forest. As we speak, Al and Robert Rose will be preparing the parking lot, so they'll be taking all the trees and stumps out in the area, getting the soil, getting down, I don't know how many, 6 inches or so below the level, and then Cherry Hill will be donating compaction for the base of the parking lot. So hopefully that'll be done shortly, and then again we'll have the announcement to have the assembly of the, almost like a barn raising, but it'll be a timber frame where a shelter in case you're out there hiking and weather doesn't cooperate. You'll have some place to go and rest. And then other than that, we just continue to monitor our 60-plus properties around town, make sure they're in good working order and neighbors haven't been encroaching on the properties. And we do have an upcoming event on December 6th at 9:30. We'll be leading a hike on our Village Street property. So if you're interested in joining us, please meet behind the skating rink off of Route 22 by 9:15. And some volunteers from the Land Trust will lead you on a nice, quote, winter-type hike through there, identifying trees and some other things. So that should be enjoyable. If you need further information about the Land Trust, please visit us at mblandtrust.org or on Facebook at North Branford Land Conservation Trust. We also send out a newsletter 3 or 4 times a year. So if you'd like to get that, please give us your email address and we'll be happy to include you on the mailing list. And it's an excellent way to keep you informed what's going on with Land Trust stuff. And then lastly, on the Land Trust perspective, if you or anyone you know has a piece of property you'd like protected as open space, feel free to reach out to us. If we're not the right people for it, we certainly have the folks to put you in contact with to give you options what to do with the piece of property. And that is it for Land Trust.
Did you want to mention the day to give on December 2nd?
Yes, for those that may be familiar, next Tuesday, December 2nd, is Giving Tuesday. It's a nationwide day of giving. So any year-end donations you'd like to do, just proceed to whatever organization's website that is and click on their donate button and, give generously to help those organizations continue to be able to run.
Do you have any other properties that you're looking at adding to the 60 properties?
We're always, looking at stuff or hope people approach us, but nothing that I can discuss at this point. We were involved with the development that's being proposed on Glenwood Road.
Okay.
And with the latest design by the developer, the land trust will get a certain amount of land to connect the cul-de-sac to the Angeloni Preserve, which we have.
Okay.
Right now, the only way in there is to go up Cerro Road all the way up the old trolley line and come in from there. But if this development goes through and we get this space that the developer has proposed, then folks will be able to park on Glenwood and walk right in and walk on the Angeloni Preserve, which is ours, and then continue on to the Campmeyer property, which is in Guilford. So it's a really nice long type hike. And
I love loops. Is it a loop, or would you come back the way you come in?
Yes, I do. I love loops too. I don't like one ways and back. So yes, there's loops in there.
Okay. I was asking that question because watching the town council meeting the other day, I heard Mayor Angeloni mention something about that, but I couldn't place it in my head, so I wanted to ask it. So you would talk about that property, but I couldn't remember exactly what she was talking about. So that's good to know. And just to point out too, the North Branford Land Trust is totally separate from the town
Yes,
of
it's a
North
nonprofit.
Branford.
Its own 501(c), has no connection to the town or any other organization. We just was formed in 1968. It's a group of volunteers that we just want to make sure that we have some enjoyable land in North Branford for everyone to enjoy. So
The trails are amazing. Well,
Thank
tell
you.
us about recycling and our favorite time of the year, bulk trash pickup.
Well, I have my Land Trust T-shirt on, and I was going to grab my Hazardous Waste and Recycling Committee hat to put on now, seeing I switched hats, but I couldn't find it in my car. So, not sure if I spoke before on the recycling and stuff, but I'm a member of the town's Solid Hazardous Waste and Recycling Committee, and our purpose is to keep the town informed of the laws and regulations around proper waste disposal. So if you don't do it right, there could be fines and other stuff levied. So one of the most recent changes for the good, I'm sure you've all have your propane tanks at home and propane cylinders when you hike or when you camp or when you cook on your grill. Well, it used to cost money to get rid of that, but as of October 1st, 2025, when we have our recycling events, e-waste events in town, you can bring those tanks down to Public Works, and you don't have to pay the $2 or $3 anymore. It's all free. It's part of, I don't know if it's manufacturer responsibility. It's kind of the same thing with tires and mattresses. You pay that money up front to the manufacturer, and that's supposed to cover the cost of disposal. So now they finally extended that to gas cylinders. So pretty much any size tank. There may be an upper limit. I don't recall what that is, but the state's website, the DEEP website, will have that. I think we chatted last time about the plastic film recycling program, and that the collection bins are no longer in town offices. So a large bin was acquired and installed at Public Works, so you could go there any day of the week, any time, and drop your plastic film off. So seems to be working well.
Okay.
We're not quite the numbers are down a little. If you added up the town locations that we used to collect from, and now what we're collecting from the bin, we're probably down about 100 pounds a month from what. So I don't know if people are now bringing it directly to like Big Y and Stop and Shop and Walmart.
Can you just explain what that plastic film is again?
Yes, it's low density and high density polyethylene, number 2 and number 4. It's case overwrap, so when you buy your cases of water, it's that plastic that's over the case to keep the water together. It's dry cleaning bags, it's Ziploc bags, it's bread bags. It's, for a lot of people in North Branford, we have wells. A lot of us use salt, so those salt pellet bags are good also. So
don't throw them out, and don't put them in your recycling. Bring them to the town hall.
Right, they're recyclable, but you can't go in your blue bin. Okay. So please bring them down to Public Works and drop them off there. Just a note on, I mentioned Ziploc bags. One of the key components of this is any item needs to be clean and dry. And today, when I was emptying out the bin at Public Works, there were several Ziploc bags in there that had some food, still some food residue in there, and it already started to rot. So please, for myself and the other volunteers that sort through this stuff, don't throw any any garbage in there, please.
Yeah, give it a rinse.
Rule of thumb: if you turn every bag inside out, chances are whatever's in there, unless it's something wet that was in there, that may not. You just need to throw that out. But 99% of the time, if you just turn the bag inside out before you decide to donate it, that will clear up most of the problems. Each year, the committee gets your trash and recycling information card. We're working on the version for 2026. So that should be out in, I think, usually like mid-January. It'll be in your copy of the Tutucket Times. If you don't get the Tutucket Times, or I think the ones delivered to post office boxes don't get this. So if you don't get one, the libraries generally have them, community center and town hall. So if you don't get your recycling information card in the middle of January, reach out to one of those. Or you could always visit the town's website, Solid Hazardous Waste Recycling Committee, and the card's on there. So any time of the year, if you're traveling or whatever, and all the postings on Facebook. When's the next bulky waste pickup? It's on the card, but if you forget, go to the town's website. Speaking of bulky waste, the next scheduled one should be around the middle of April of next year, so look for that. And the reason I mention that is the current contract with John's expires next June.
That was going to be my question.
We need to, my guess is part of the negotiations with them or whoever we decide to do our trash and recycling for next year, that will be part of it, to still hold the 2 bulky waste events during the year.
And we went to 2 a year because it was too expensive to keep doing the weekly?
It's a lot, because besides picking up the trash and the bulky waste, it just made it, I think, it might have made it just easier for John's. I don't recall all the details, but it's not as, it's more unsightly to me.
Right.
But I think logistically it was better.
I just have a question, and I don't mean to open a can of worms, so anybody listening who thinks I am, I'm not. But I'm curious, is there do they leave maybe like a dumpster that we can use for emergency? Like if somebody has something, I don't know, that breaks in the middle of the year, and we don't have in North Branford access to a landfill like Branford and Guilford.
Correct.
Guilford used to let us go, but now they don't anymore.
Right.
So is there any time that they leave like a dumpster that you could use on town property somewhere?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
We have had discussions with, going back several years, whether it's worthwhile for the town to look at a transfer station.
Okay.
To be able to do what Guilford and Madison and Durham and Middlefield do around us. But at this point, no. So some other towns, what they've done is they have an organization that will pick, like John's,
Okay.
will pick up, but you call and schedule with them.
Okay.
But then you pay for,
Right,
you know,
what you need.
$25 for a couch or $50 for a I'm not sure all the prices because every town's different, but there are towns that do that you just pick up the phone. So if you do have that emergency refrigerator that you just call and say, okay, I have a refrigerator I'd like to have removed, how much is it, and schedule a date, and they will come and haul it away for you. But, you know, one other thing with that, I just hate watching all this stuff go to waste. I mean, we do a lot of nice things with the Facebook free items pages, and things like that, but when you drive around bulky waste suites, there's a lot of stuff on the streets. So I actually have reached out to Got Junk to see if they do commercial type at that level, so that when you put because they recycle a lot of the stuff. I don't know if people were aware of that. I think in their commercials now they talk about doing that, but that's what I would like to see. I hate seeing my stuff get thrown in the back of a truck and then it all getting compacted and compressed. So if in the next contract, if we could look to see if any vendors could. Now I know it's a big task because there's a lot of stuff that's
and
put out at the curb.
Hit or miss too, right? Because not everybody's always cleaning out their stuff.
Correct.
Or,
yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see how that works out. But again, Bulky Waste Week should be mid-April next year. One exciting thing, a couple of our committee members have been working with the staff and students at TVS over the last year or so about recycling. There was always this question and mystery. They collect the recyclables in the classroom. The custodians seem to bring it outside and put it in the proper bins, and then they don't know what happens to it. So after working with some folks, the principal at TVS, Mayor Angeloni, and folks from John's, it appears that recycling at TVS is now working.
Okay.
So applause for everybody that was involved in that. Now our plan is to, once we know it's working properly, get it rolled out to all the schools in North Branford.
Okay.
Recycling is the law in Connecticut. It's been since the early 90s. Yeah. And that includes town buildings, so we need to make sure that we're doing things properly. I already mentioned Giving Tuesday, but it's worth mentioning again. Next Tuesday, December 2nd, just log on to your favorite organization's website and give them your generous donation. And in closing, if you have any questions for either the Land Trust or on proper waste disposal, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll do our best to get you the answers.
When are your recycling committee meetings, and where are they held?
We meet the second Thursday of each month at Town Hall, and most times in Town Council chambers, unless there's a higher priority meeting and we meet at 6:30. So they're open to the public. Please feel free to join us. We're always looking for volunteers. If you'd like to join our committee or just help us at some of when we have e-waste event or whatever else.
Earth Day was wonderful, the Earth Day event.
Yep. Bill Savastano, one of our committee members, does a really good job in organizing that. And over the last few years, been on and off with rain and not rain, and where we link it up with Little League opening day, we do it purposely to get a good amount of folks down there to Wall Field, but that can sometimes make it harder to reschedule Earth Day if the weather doesn't cooperate. So again, thanks for allowing me to chat with you about the Land Trust and the Recycling Committee, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
So I'm going to pivot from the Land Trust and recycling And just want to highlight a few things. One, again, happy Thanksgiving. At the Northford Community Church, there'll be the Open Door Project is having their Thanksgiving dinner. So go and have some food or go and volunteer, but go and talk to your community members. The other day on the community pages, I had asked for some stories, and they are coming in, and they are wonderful. So please keep an eye out. I'm going to post a follow-up question for stories, and then I am going to post a date that if you might want to come in person to talk and maybe organize around going to the Blueprint Committee together or the town council meetings together. So keep an eye out for that. I think that the discussion is wonderful and it's communal and everybody's listening, even though there's lots of different viewpoints. So it's awesome. And that's what it's all about, community. And I also wanted to mention congratulations to all of our sports teams. Oh my goodness, all of the football and the cheerleaders and even the BOE leagues are doing so well. So congratulations on that. Hard work pays off. I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday, and whatever holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, that you celebrate in the next month, have a great holiday there. And we at the Community Lens will see you right before the new year. You have anything else, Hank, really quick?
No, I'm good.
Thank you for joining us. Have a great holiday season.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm the owner of Get Organized with Megan Rose. I specialize in helping people create organized, stress-free homes through my services, which include decluttering and organizing, donation pickups, and daily chores such as laundry, dishes, and tidying up. I understand that inviting someone into your home can feel overwhelming, and many people feel hesitant or embarrassed. But I want you to know my services are 100% judgment-free. I'm here to help, not judge. In addition to my organizing work, I'm also the administrator for our town's free page, where I donate many of my clients' unwanted items to help others in the community. Giving back has been an important part of my business since the very beginning. I've lived in North Branford for 11 years with my boys, and I truly love being part of this community. Right now, I'm running a giveaway for 1 free hour of my decluttering service. Everyone who enters from town will receive $15 off their next session. Be sure to check out my Facebook page, Get Organized with Megan Rose, to learn more about my services. I hope to hear from you soon.